Hey there bros, welcome to our channel.
There are many existential questions that great minds have not been able to answer yet. What's the meaning of life? Are we alone in the universe? What would it take to make the world a better place?
We may not have the answers to this quite yet. Instead, we'll try to answer more down-to-earth questions like:
what is financial education? And what is the impact of financial literacy on your daily life? Why is it important to start learning about this from an early age?
Why investing in yourself can lead you on the path to financial independence. All of this and more in today's video.
And stay till the very end to learn more about our first ever giveaway that will put you on the right path.
What is financial education?
Truth be told, financial decisions are seen as a complex matter, a kind of dark room where blindfolded people fumble. This pessimistic outlook on finances goes hand in hand with a deep distrust of other financial opportunities.
Regarding financial knowledge, plenty of people only remain at the stage of purchasing things in cash. That is all they know and accept.
But the rise of online shopping using mostly credit cards, mainly among the younger generation, has changed the way consumers behave, making it much easier to overspend and get into financial problems. Once a year, FINRA evaluates financial abilities by comparing consumers' answers regarding topics such as diversification, bond prices, or inflation. It is proven that only 34% of Americans are able to provide the correct answers to this set of questions.
In other words, more and more citizens neglect the basic financial principles which lead to debt and inappropriate financial decisions. The shortage of financial education, also known as financial literacy, causes misunderstanding of common things such as the system of checking accounts, the usage of credit cards, and even affects retirement investment plans.
Briefly, financial education provides you a positive mindset in terms of managing your funds and the proper tools for understanding economic basics. If you are dealing with a lack of financial knowledge, it is imperative that you complete your financial education as soon as possible.
What is the impact of financial literacy on your daily life?
Firstly, financial literacy consists of a set of skills and knowledge that leads you to smart and well-informed decisions regarding your financial resources. The more you know about financial principles, the better you organize your household budget.
Second, gaining financial literacy may allow you to purchase a comfortable home for your family, balance your budget, and even increase your monthly income. Furthermore, financial literacy is regarded as the key to comprehending various economic topics such as inflation, rate of economic growth, GDP, and so on.
You may be unable to deal with daily challenges such as medical credit, mortgage or credit card debt, retirement savings, and so on if you don't have a firm grasp on finances. A well-informed person understands how to avoid financial risks and pitfalls.
The Federal Financial Literacy and Education Commission, established by Congress in 2003, provided a profile of a well-informed customer in terms of finances. Consider the following knowledge you should gain and actions you should take during your financial journey.
Be aware of your monthly income, including your withheld taxes and expenses. Create an emergency fund and save money for your investments or other personal purposes.
Choose the best insurance you can find and protect your money from fraud.
Borrow money at the lowest interest rate and create reliable credit repayment habits.
Keep yourself informed and choose the best retirement plan. Supervise your budget and know how to cut back on expenses when it's needed.
Keep an eye on your credit report and prevent possible errors. Do you want to apply for credit? Then you must focus on your credit score. This is the first things lenders look at in order to determine if they are willing to work with you or not.
Your credit score also has a great impact on landlords who decide if you qualify for renting a house or an apartment. A stainless credit score is a sign of your reliability. Here's what you should know about improving your credit score. Pay bills on time. Sounds simple, and of course it's easier said than done, but it's the best way to start getting your payment history back on track. Set up your budget to ensure you have the money necessary to pay your bills on time. It might mean some sacrifices, but it's better to give up a few things now rather than ruin your credit for a lifetime. Stay on top of missed payments. The older a credit problem, the less it counts towards your credit score. So the longer you pay your bills on time, even after having late payments, the more potential for your FICO score to increase. Contact your creditors to see if they can help you in any way, like lowering your interest rate so you can pay off your debt faster. You can also meet with a credit counseling service who might be able to assist you with properly budgeting your money and consolidating your debt. All of these things can potentially help you improve your credit history.
A high utilization rate is a sign that you may be experiencing financial difficulty and is a strong indicator of lending risk. As a result, high utilization hurts credit scores and can cause lenders to be reluctant to extend additional credit. If you have a high balance to limit ratio on one card, having a low overall utilization rate can significantly offset that negative aspect. That is why we advise against closing unused credit cards if your credit scores are low, as doing so may increase your total utilization ratio. The lower your utilization ratio, the better your credit scores.
The credit mix reflected in your credit reports is an important contributor to your credit score because it tells lenders how well you can judge multiple credit accounts. That said, credit mix only holds as much weight in your credit score as the new credit aspect of your credit history, so 10% of your FICO score. So while a good credit mix can give your credit score a slight boost or even help you achieve a score deemed excellent, a lackluster credit mix won't have a sizable negative impact on your score.
Hard inquiries have a negative impact on your credit score, at least in the short term. While a hard inquiry will stay on your credit report for 2 years, it will usually only impact your credit only for a few months. Too many hard inquiries in a short time could make it look like you're seeking loans and credit cards that you may not be able to pay back.
Negative information such as bad payment habits or bankruptcy affects your credit score, and lenders will perceive you as a risk factor. Check your credit score regularly and keep an eye on your finances. Your credit report provides with information about your repayment consistency and helps you to figure out what type of loan best fits you.
Why is financial education important from an early age? Financial education is one of the most effective skills you need in a real-world scenario. Unfortunately, the school curriculum ignores this fact completely. In addition, a lot of families are skeptical about things like growing money, investing wisely, or running a business. The lack of minimal knowledge leads to bankruptcy, a decrease in income, poor investment plans, or savings account too hard to deal with.
These day-to-day challenges require government involvement. In the meantime, one should follow the popular urge: be the change you want to see in the world. Inform yourself and change your attitude towards money into a proactive one. Afterwards, encourage your children and help them build financial literacy.
It is advisable to start this process as soon as possible. Kids are fast learners, and their entrepreneurial spirit can be easily molded. Besides, there is a consistent number of books that train your children to think outside of the box.
One of these books is The Lemonade War by Jacqueline Davis. It's a vivid work with children's literature that depicts sibling rivalry in terms of business. Who will run smarter lemonade stands during the summer holiday? The story is full of marketing tips, funny ads, and business terms explained in a friendly manner.
Here are 4 steps for building financial literacy. First of all, start with a balance sheet of your daily expenses. It's the most effective way to track them and save money easily. Keep an eye on your spending habits in a wise manner. Use an online budgeting app like the one linked in the description below. You can try the budgeting worksheet provided by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Distinguish between good and bad debt. There is a solid case to be made that no debt is good debt, but borrowing money and taking on debt is the only way many people can afford to purchase big-ticket items like homes and cars. While some loans are usually justifiable and bring value to the person taking on the debt, there is another end of the spectrum that involves taking on debt through careless spending on credit cards. While it's easy to differentiate between these two extremes, determining whether or not debt is good or bad, more often than not, it involves a deeper analysis of specific circumstances.
Even if it sounds impossible, good debt does exist. Good debt is exemplified in the old saying, "It takes money to make money." If the debt you take on helps you generate income and increase your net worth, that can be considered positive. For instance, a mortgage is a good one because the value of the property increases as the amount of debt decreases. On the other side, bad debt continues to increase as the value of a certain item decreases. An appropriate example is a car loan.
Discuss with a financial advisor. Do you feel the need to speak with a certified counselor about your financial situation? It's a good start that will boost your confidence as well as help you better understand your financial situation. Financial advisor counsel you on how to multiply your money, increase your income, and select profitable retirement plans.
Read and listen to podcasts. As in many other fields, studying is the key to success. Fortunately, there is plenty of free content on the internet providing you financial basics. Most of them communicate the relevant information in a friendly and well-documented manner. So remember, in order to gain a solid grasp of finances, you don't have to follow a finance degree program.
Invest in yourself and discover the path to financial independence. Financial advisors often say, "Think rich." The statement is worthy and represents a war declaration against the conventional attitude and ideas linked to money. It's true that a lot of people have negative point of view about investments and growing money. This attitude is visible in the school curriculum and in our families too.
For instance, school as an institution provides us a suitable background for earning money, but does not teach us how to manage money wisely. On the other hand, the reluctant attitude seen inside the families urges us to remain blocked in our comfort zone. Actually, one of the biggest problems you should deal with is boosting your confidence and self-esteem.
Build your financial freedom step by step. Before investing money in a potential business, the first thing you should do is to invest in yourself. In other words, read a lot and train your brain. This is how to boost your confidence. Once you understand the financial trends, you should be able to invest wisely or run your business profitably. Remember that most financial advisors consider that you cannot get rich if you work for someone else.
A good place to start building your financial education is in the library of books you can find in the description below. Start with these recommendations and gradually build your financial competence. Financial literacy improves your life. It will help you handle your money wisely, whether you choose to be a financial professional or just a consumer. Remember, it is never too late to start your journey into financial education.
And now for our giveaway. We want to help you as much as possible. That is why we are giving away 5 free courses that will help you begin your journey towards financial education. Check out the link in the description below and enter the competition. If you like the video, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and hit the notification button for more content. Hey, I have a great idea. Let's invest in Ford Motors. I heard they are creating the first mass-produced car in the world. I'm sure it's gonna be a great success.
Nah, the horse is here to stay. The car is only a novelty, a fad. Hey, I have this great idea. I heard about this thing called the internet. Let's look into it. Perhaps it's a chance to make some money.
Nah, the internet is just a passing fad. Nobody's gonna use it in a couple of years.
Everyone has something to say about investing.
But not all of them are worthwhile.
In this video, we'll go through 10 tips that you should definitely consider before you start to invest.
Before we start, don't forget to enter our giveaway for a chance to win one of 5 free courses that will help you get started on your road to financial independence.
Investing seems appealing to many people, but most of them ignore that any type of investment is only worth trying if they are financially competent. Succeeding is a goal set by everyone, and anybody may turn investing into a rewarding experience. However, having too great expectation when it comes to investing is not recommended most of the time.
Being a novice in managing monthly expenses might be a boundary you should first learn how to conquer. Remember, investing money always comes with risks. But we cannot be accomplished human beings without a grain of risk. Truth be told, risk has always pushed us forward towards success. Prepare yourself for your financial journey. Keep an eye on your household budget.
Having a household budget is a golden rule which needs your attention. Designing a household budget functions as a tool that will help you determine the pattern of your expenses. It also helps you determine your consumer profile to see if you're a moderate consumer or a wasteful one.
Keeping track of your budget means writing down all of the sources of income. There are plenty of apps which help you record your daily expenses and transactions. Remember that your budget includes your salary and any other types of expenses such as rental income, fees, grocery bills, and personal loans. Be organized and make a list of your expenses, allocating an amount of money to each category. Before long, you are going to know your spending habits better and even learn where it's advisable to cut down spending. The surplus resulting from your budget should be invested.
One rule that can help you manage your expenses better is the 50-30-20 rule, where 50% of your salary goes to living expenses, 30% goes towards expenses such as trips, travels, restaurants, or any other personal activities, and the last 20% is saved for your long-term or short-term goals. Following this rule will bring you a balanced budget and provides proper background for investing. If you want to learn more about this 50-30-20 rule, check out our short article in the description below.
Establish an emergency fund. As a rule, the unexpected is part of everyone's life. Sometimes emergency situations such as medical issue or job loss may occur during our lifetime. Regardless of the situation, you should always be prepared in the time of need. The best move you should make is having an emergency fund in place.
Otherwise, you will find yourself in the position of having to borrow money from friends or relatives. Taking a personal loan from a bank is even worse, because this will lead to more and more debt due to the interest that has to be paid. Keep in mind that one of the golden rules for investors is setting themselves free from the trap of debt. The responsibility of paying back your debt diverts your thoughts from investing. Moreover, no surplus of money will be left as a result of your household budgeting. Financial experts claim that emergency funds should take the form of cash. It may be hard to believe, but people tend to spend less when they own liquid assets.
Pay off all your credit cards and other high-interest debt. Having high-interest debt prevents you from investing properly. In fact, even if you are able to grow your money, you will always be inclined to pay your debt first. Let us put it this way. Making an investment that returns 10% annually is the equivalent of making an extra payment on a credit card with 10% interest rate. All gains are put off.
In other words, paying off your credit card provides you financial steadiness and prepares yourself for the role of an investor. In the absence of debt, the monthly budgeting becomes a rewarding task because you may notice a surplus of money, which can be invested as you wish.
Protect yourself and consider a health insurance policy. Being safe should be a priority for everyone. Accidents, illnesses, and other serious injuries can always occur and can jeopardize your long-term goals. Considering this, an option to better protect both yourself and your family is adopting a health insurance policy. Nowadays, medical costs are escalating and life or death situations might force you to use your entire savings in order to pay unexpected expenses.
Experts suggest that before you start investing, you should get coverage for both yourself and your family. Living without insurance is a bigger risk than investing itself.
Build a social circle which supports smart financial moves. Humans are not solitary beings. They surround themselves with friends with whom they share a set of fundamental values. Or at least this is how things are in an ideal situation. If you show interest in investing, then you should bound yourself with people who have similar goals for themselves. A friend with a poor grasp of money may influence your attitude or even demotivate you.
Nevertheless, this is not a valid reason to put an end to that friendship. Keep in touch with your friends, but extend your social circle. Try to discover people with similar interests as you. Your workplace colleagues could be a good start, for example, as they can help you achieve financial literacy. Never forget, You can always learn from other people.
Be on the same page with your spouse. Are you a die-hard fan of investments? If you really are, you should try to persuade your spouse that your investment strategy is sound. The move is mandatory because your spouse may not agree with your financial decisions. Consider the following questions before settling on this subject and beginning to invest together.
What are your long-term or short-term goals? What is your financial strategy?
How can you achieve your goals? What types of investment vehicles are worthwhile for you?
Do you have any saving accounts and whose name is on them?
Develop healthy ties with your desires. The great challenge comes from distinguishing between our desires and learning how to tame them. This impulse is strong when you are prone to purchasing such things as fancy clothes, fine food, and other material goods. Before responding to your impulse, think twice about the usefulness of the things you are longing for.
Do you remember the 50-30-20 rule? If you spend on your immediate pleasures more than 30%, then you compromise any plan of investment. Refrain from becoming a wasteful consumer. Control your desires and stay focused on your long-term goals.
Fight against destructive spending habits. Thinking about routine brings us closer to the idea of budgeting. Truth be told, our monthly expenses follow a certain pattern, and that pattern could be seen as consumers' routine. But sometimes people break the chains of their routine, reevaluate their habits, and make better decisions for themselves. If you are a lucky person with a rewarding salary and free of debt, but still lack money for investing, you should rethink your budget. The first step is revising your shopping list. Give up on all things that are easy to forget.
Do you remember that video game you only played once? Can you recall the taste of espresso that you drink daily? If all these things are not memorable and do not bring you joy for a long term, cut them from your shopping list with no remorse. Choose only meaningful things and start investing responsibly.
Be aware of your tolerance in taking on risks.
As a future investor, you should know your own set of values and determine your comfort zone in terms of investing. Find your own way and see if you are a defensive or an enterprising investor. Before identifying with certain profile, you should know that a defensive manner of investing is based on stability. A defensive strategy provides you modest profit, but more security. The best investment vehicles that you may choose are ETFs and government bonds.
On the other side, a high degree of risk does not worry you as an enterprising investor. Due to their financial competencies, this type of investor is prone to invest aggressively and needs to monitor their financial moves more regularly. If you resonate with this attitude, you can easily invest in stocks and corporate bonds, which are more volatile but could provide you a much higher profit. Set your goals and design plans. Investing is more rewarding if you set goals and priorities. These targets may dictate your financial strategy and the type of investment vehicle you choose. Be it your children's education, running a business, or financial independence, setting goals will motivate you towards achieving them.
As an investor, you expect a return when investing money over an established period of time. Remember, any investment involves a degree of risk, but you could reduce it by investing in things you know by heart. For instance, if you have a passion for renovating houses, you may consider investing in house flipping. Purchase a house at a lower price, renovate it, and sell it for a higher price thanks to the improvements that you made. In a nutshell, investing is a good option for everyone, but as a beginner, before taking any risk, you should focus on these investment tips. Time and effort represent the key of a successful investment and teach you great lessons. Keep up to date with the best financial advice and try to do your best to invest wisely with a minimal risk of failure.
Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know what you think the best tip is, or if we missed any. Please share this video with your friends and subscribe to our channel, as it helps us immensely to grow and create new free content.
If you like, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, where we share more content. And don't forget to hit the bell notification button to stay up to date with our latest videos. Hey there bros, welcome to our channel.
We're the Investa Bros. the place where you come for the finance and stay for the accent.
Today, we want to share with you 4 reasons why new investors lose money in the market. So if that's what you want to learn about, make sure to stay until the very end of the video.
Being an investor can be both exciting and stressful. Some days it may even feel like your mood swings along with the market. This can push you to make hurried, uninformed, and finally bad investment decisions. But never fear! The Investor Bros are here!
You gotta lay off the comic books, bro.
Sorry, I just got really excited about teaching everyone how to avoid losing money in the stock market.
Okay, but listen, investing is a baby step process. It can feel overwhelming if you're new to this. But today we'll start guiding you through this exact process.
And help you understand why new investors lose money in the stock market so you can avoid making the same mistakes.
In order to become a smart investor, you need to understand a few basics about the impact economic and business cycles have on the market.
Market steadiness, or the lack of, depends on economic cycle. This fluctuates between growth and decline. On one hand, growth provides a higher profit for businesses and more jobs. Thus, your investments have higher returns. On the other hand, decline will have the opposite effect, resulting in a negative impact on returns.
A business cycle is a period when a contraction phase follows economic boom. A contraction phase happens when the national economy declines, affecting the income of every citizen within that economy. In US history, the Great Depression or the 2008 crash are perfect examples of this.
Sometimes experts are able to predict a contraction phase, which can cause the value of your shares to drop significantly.
This means learning about and keeping up to date with the market and business cycles is crucial in order to make wise investment decisions and strategies.
Now that you understand the fundamentals, let's explore the 4 reasons why new investors lose money in the market.
First off is emotional behavior linked to investing. Experts frequently talk about behavioral finance and its effect on successful investing. Excitement, fear, or the fear of missing out can prompt you to make hasty investment decisions in anticipation of high returns or a loss. Emotions are always likely to overcome your better judgment.
Some examples of emotionally motivated investing would be selling or purchasing shares too soon, or investing in a company strictly because you love a product they are promoting. This mindset is not profitable as it leads to unreasonable decisions.
Finances affect so much of our lives. It's no wonder we are inclined into making emotional decisions. You have to remember, rational decisions are the key to successful investing.
So you may wonder, how can you avoid making emotionally motivated investing and make wise and profitable decisions?
Well, first you need to determine what kind of investor you are. There are 2 types of investors that dominate the economic field: enterprising or defensive investors.
Enterprising investors defy risks. They are willing to take higher risks because they aspire for increased gains. An enterprising investor will keep up with market fluctuations and use that information to formulate their plans. Defensive investors are reluctant to take risks. They forgo high returns in exchange for security.
As a beginner, it's best to adopt the mindset of a defensive investor. Perhaps this isn't as appealing to you as becoming an enterprising investor, but like any other beginner, you need to learn to walk before you can run. Once you've increased your financial knowledge, you can make the shift to high-risk, high-reward strategies.
That brings us to the second mistake investors make: being hasty in getting rich.
Of course you want to get rich quick, right? Don't make that mistake. Most people do, and it's because they perceive investing as the opportunity to become millionaires overnight. If you rush into a new endeavor with this type of approach, you are likely to skip vital steps. Therefore, with hasty investing, you are much less likely to make it, to have that dream house, luxury cars, or expensive holidays that you've been dreaming of having. Your decisions should be made with patience and a clear strategy.
For context, let us consider the Dalbar study covering the period between 1997 and 2016. The average stock market investors earned just around 4% per year, whereas the S&P 500 returned 10%. This difference comes as a consequence of investors trying to time the market, constantly selling and buying in the hopes of making an immediate profit.
The idea of becoming a millionaire overnight is an unrealistic expectation. Let us remind you of one of the most famous quotes on investing. Warren Buffett said, "Successful investing takes time, discipline, and patience. No matter how great the talent or effort, some things just take time."
Keep in mind that Warren Buffett earned his fortune around his 50s as a result of long-term goals and investments. Before following your friend's recommendation or fake news, you would better inform yourself through reading investing books for beginners or spending time on reliable financial websites such as Bloomberg, Barron's, CNBC. You get the point.
Coming in third is a frequent mistake: investing in penny stocks.
But what is a penny stock?
Well, they are shares of a company sold at low prices, varying between 1 cent and $5.
So then, what are the disadvantages of investing in penny stocks?
Where do I start? In order to make informed investments, it's crucial to have enough data when evaluating businesses. And in the case of penny stocks, it's likely that that information available isn't from reliable sources. To be available for sale on OTC markets, stocks on the OTCBB and pink sheets do not have to meet minimum standard requirements, unlike blue chip stocks, for instance. Or the fact that many penny stocks companies are still in the early stages of growth, and some could actually be on the brink of bankruptcy.
Oh, and don't forget, the liquidity is limited in stocks that trade infrequently. As a result, it's likely that after the stock is purchased, buyers may not actually be able to sell it easily.
So why would an investor be interested in penny stocks then?
Well, penny stocks have a high degree of fluctuation, so a single share can be 10 cents at the beginning of the week and rise to more than $1 by the end of that week. On the surface, they look appealing to anyone hoping for a quick, sizable return. However, in most cases, their disadvantages outweigh their benefits.
So what you're saying is that when you start investing, it's better that you avoid penny stocks altogether, right?
Completely. You should not have them in your portfolio. The fourth and last mistake we'll cover in this video is accepting rumors or stock tips instead of doing proper research on companies.
What do we mean by that? Well, for instance, many investors will follow conventional opinions about investments. If the majority claims that purchasing an overvalued asset is a misstep, it might just turn out that the company's stock was actually underpriced and that the initial assumption was wrong.
Train yourself and distinguish between others' belief and what reality is. Instead of following the crowd, educate yourself by reading, listening, or watching financial content.
And when we say others' belief, this includes friends and family. When it comes to your financial future, your long-term goals should dictate the investment vehicles you choose, not the opinions or tips of those close to you. Just like in any other aspect of your life, your job, your friends, your ambitions, the people around you will always have an opinion about your investment decisions. While they may truly have your best interest at heart, they don't always know what's best.
Investing is a lifetime process with the potential to provide long-term prosperity. So don't entrust your fortune to others.
Look at it this way. When you select a cake for a wedding or an anniversary, you start by researching local shops to find a quality, experienced bakery, right? You should take the same approach when it comes to investments.
Do you remember when our aunt made you that birthday cake? She threw in the eggs whole, shells and all.
Remember? How could I forget? It was the crunchiest cake I've ever had.
If you can't trust your dear old aunt with a birthday cake, you probably shouldn't trust her financial advice either. Unless your aunt is Janet Yellen, then yes, you probably should do as she says. Auntie Yellen knows best.
Instead, put your trust in quality, experienced financial resources.
There are a few ways you can gradually build your financial knowledge. First, pay attention to financial news, but be cautious of their clickbait headlines. Some articles only wish to draw your attention and aren't dedicated to giving sound advice. Be sure you thoroughly research and check the reliability of any financial resources you find.
Additionally, you can review books and websites, and why not even YouTube channels that cover financial topics like ours. And because we brought up Warren Buffett, consider the following books that billionaires recommend you to read. The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, Stress Test: Reflections on Financial Crisis by Timothy Geithner,
and The Clash of Cultures: Investment versus Speculation by John C. Bogle.
That's it. Thanks for watching. Remember, patience and discipline are key. Take your time, learn, and remember the mistakes we just highlighted, as they will help you on your journey.
Also, please let us know if you made any of the mistakes we discussed, and if you did, What lessons did you learn from them?
The easiest way to stay updated on the topics we cover is to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to click the notification bell so you will know when we post a new video.
And as always, please show your support by clicking the like button and sharing the video with your friends. Only with your help can we keep educating new investors just like you. Hey there bros, welcome to the channel. If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering how some people become millionaires while others don't. What is their secret?
We may not be millionaires yet, but both of us are working on this goal to become millionaires in the next few years.
As of December 2020, there were estimated to be almost 50 million millionaires in the world. So this path is not new. It has already been laid out before us to follow in our daily lives.
So what we're doing in today's video is to break down 5 millionaire habits that we have adopted and that will also help you reach financial freedom.
And don't say that most millionaires were born into wealth, because as it turns out, 88% of them are actually self-made millionaires.
If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the like and notification button to stay up to date with more of our content. Those who become millionaires or billionaires knew exactly what they wanted to achieve.
There are certain habits that these people have developed, which were not inherited. Every single one of us dreams of becoming a millionaire. But how many do actually spend time in achieving the skills necessary for this outcome?
People with high status are always setting up goals for themselves and more often than not achieve them. It is not that hard to do, and if you have never done this before, try starting with small goals in the beginning and then set up a working plan to achieve that goal.
When it comes to money, visualization plays a key part because you will start to understand that every decision you make influences your financial health.
Every small thing, like buying coffee every day at Starbucks or using a taxi to work, can influence your finances.
Let's take some examples on the impact of saving and compounding interest to make things clearer. By saving just $100 a month, after 5 years, you'd have $7,000. And after 15 years, you'd have more than 30 grand.
And if we take it a step further, after 30 years, you'd have about 120 grand. And you can do this just by changing your spending habits, like always using taxis, drinking lattes, or having an overpriced mobile phone subscription, or any other useless spending on things that you don't actually need.
Building wealth is done in 2 steps. Earning more, but most importantly by eliminating all unnecessary expenses. These are 5 steps to setting financial goals.
You need to write everything down on a piece of paper, all that you want to achieve, all of your goals. Then, copy it and put it everywhere in your house, in the bathroom, on the fridge, and so on.
Your goals need to be SMART. That is, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. The SMART method helps push you further, gives you a sense of direction, and helps you organize and reach your goals. An example is, I need to save 20 grand for a down payment on a house in the next 5 years. And it should not be as vague as, I need to buy a house.
You need to create a proper plan that you follow. For example, if you need 20 grand for a down payment, set a plan where you can save $500 per month and stick to it.
Discipline is very important when you want to be successful. You need to learn this trait. If you want to save money for a house, as mentioned earlier, you also have to give yourself a deadline for this goal. Remember, a plan without a deadline is just a dream.
The last and most important thing is not to follow other people's dreams. Make sure that the goals you set are what you want actually to achieve in life and that they will ultimately make you happy.
Even though we both have the same objective of becoming millionaire, the goal we set for ourselves on this path may not be the same. So if, for instance, he wishes to save money for a vacation in the Caribbean, it's not something that I will incorporate myself as a goal. If you want to become a millionaire, you have to do more or less the same things that they do. This means saving every penny that can be saved and not spending money for unnecessary things. After you saved enough money for your emergency fund, start investing in a portfolio that is diverse and can generate a good amount of passive income.
Plus, if you have other income streams, you can use the drip strategy for your portfolio, where you reinvest your dividends and profits back into specific stocks. In this way, You'll profit massively from the effect of compounding interest.
Another key aspect is that you need to stay away from liabilities. If you can't really afford it, don't buy jewelry or other things that can't generate money for you. If you live in a big house with 3 rooms but you are all by yourself, or it's just you and your spouse, why not search for a smaller and cheaper place? Or you can transform a liability in an asset by renting those extra rooms so they will start generating an income.
Jewelry, cars, expensive clothing are all just liabilities that drain away more of your hard-earned money. Yes, sometimes it is necessary, but think that once you bought your new shiny vehicle, its value will only go down from that point. Instead, an asset is something that can generate money for you. The key is to buy products that yield a consistent profit. Like the example we shared earlier, a house where you can live in but also rent out a room is a good example of such an asset.
If you want to reach your goal of becoming a millionaire faster, you need to cut every spending you have that is not adding value to your life and instead invest in assets that have the potential to generate income for you, like stocks and real estate.
Tell me who you spend time with and I will tell you who you are. This is a saying from Eastern Europe, and it describes perfectly why it is important to have the right people around.
We literally copy, although not consciously, the behavior of people we spend time with. So if your friends play video games all day, guess what you'll be doing? That is why it's extremely important to surround yourself only with people that you want to copy and learn something positive from. We're not saying video games are bad. We both love video games, but we adhere to a strict schedule where we incorporated a dedicated time for this activity.
The reason why millionaires have mostly rich friends is because they have the same mindset and they understand each other. You and I are literally the product of our surroundings and the people we spend time with.
Take a step back and look at your circle of friends. Is it really where you want to be? Toxic friends are draining because it takes a lot of time and effort to deal with what is going on in their personal life. They may not have your best interest in mind.
If you want to grow and improve your life, you have to develop new friendships with people that have the same goals and mentality as you. It may be hard to let go of old friendships, but if they aren't beneficial, then it is time to make a change.
If you want to succeed in life in every regard and every aspect, you have to continuously keep learning and acquire new skills. Your body is your temple, so if you treat it with quality food and exercise, it will become stronger.
The same goes for your mind. You have to feed it every single day in order for you to become better than the day you were before. And it doesn't matter if the change is very small. As long as you make progress every day, you are building your path to success.
You have to constantly grow and learn and push yourself to the limits. And if you want to get scientifical, keep in mind that learning also slows down the aging process.
Every millionaire and billionaire out there didn't stop learning or managing their businesses. Every single one is working long hours and they are very happy with their lives. Mindset and visualization are everything and they are all living proof of it.
Moreover, limit your time spent for entertainment. Studies show that people who earn more spend less time on TV and social media than those that earn less. So for example, 89% of households that earn under 50 grand watch at least one reality TV show on a regular basis, compared to only 12% of those from households with income above 150 grand. Check out more information in the article linked in the description below.
And now for what we consider to be the most important trait that all millionaires adopt.
The reality is that our mindset will determine almost all aspects of our life. You know that saying that good thoughts attract good things? If you have a positive and optimistic personality, then things you undertake will most likely have a positive outcome.
The same goes for negativity. The outcome will always match your mindset. And this is crucial when it comes to finances as well. The more positive you are, the more likely it is that you will succeed.
Visualization is a key tool that anybody can use in order to improve every aspect of their lives. And this is actually scientifically proven. Let's dive more into this. We said earlier in our video that millionaires have the habit of continuously learning, and so do we. TED Talks are one place where we love learning new and interesting things.
We recommend checking out the video of Blaine Olkers, who is a graduate of Purdue University and Stanford University's entrepreneurship program, where he talks about unlocking the screen of your mind. You can find more linked in the description below.
In just a few words, he discusses about how our brain has a network of neurons that act like a filter system. It allows information that we input in our brains to be absorbed, while other bits that are deemed useless are blocked.
This is very important because without it, we wouldn't be able to survive. Imagine remembering everything you did your whole life. It would turn each and every one of us crazy.
Let's take an example so you understand how visualization works. If you think and really believe that nobody likes you at work, your filter system will continuously look for evidence that proves that point. No matter what, your filter will always try to confirm whatever you believe in, no matter if it's true or false.
So, your brain can't actually tell the difference between the bad things that are actually happening to you and the things that you only imagine. But there is something powerful that everyone can do. You just have to close your eyes for 30 seconds every day and visualize what you want to become.
After that, think of all the positive emotions that you can feel while doing the things that you want to do. You're going to feel happy, proud, grateful for making the change. If you visualize what you want to be in life, but really do it every day, then you will be on the right path of making a significant and positive change in your life.
This is why I made a habit that every morning when I wake up, I get a glass of water first. Remember, hydration is important. And spend the next 5 minutes visualizing the activities that I have planned for the day, how I will accomplish them, and what that will make me feel like. So, in conclusion, if you're not happy with your life and you struggle with your finances, maybe it's more than just bad luck. You need to spend as much time as possible following your dreams by visualizing them every day for at least 30 seconds and thinking of what are the next steps towards achieving them.
Write down every single one of your spending and try to assess where you can save money. On average, Americans tend to spend close to 50% of their income on unnecessary things, such as coffee at the local Starbucks or going out to eat on a regular basis.
Visualize your goals, set a plan and execute it. If you really want to do this, there is no better feeling in the world than the moment when you actually succeed and realize that one of your goals was reached.
Hey guys, you know that more than 50% of our viewers are not actually subscribed to our channel?
Subscribing is free. Just take the time and click over there.
And share it with your friends, why don't you?
Hey there bros, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll be exploring the importance of budgeting in your daily life.
One of the most important financial habits you can adopt is budgeting. However, if you've never lived on a budget or haven't experienced all of the benefits that budgeting has to offer, it's easy to question why it's such an important element of personal finance.
If you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button and share the video with your friends.
Budgeting helps you find financial contentment.
Financial contentment is a fundamental component of sound financial behavior.
It prevents you from spending money you don't have and allows you to relax and enjoy your financial journey.
But here's the thing, if you spend all your time worrying about how other people spend their money, you'll never be happy.
You've definitely heard of the phrase, keeping up with the Joneses. And it's a horrible and financially draining and risky way to live.
There was a time when I felt envious when I saw friends or even acquaintances purchasing something that seemed interesting. If I saw it, I wanted to have it. I bought a bike I rode for less than a year, and it's now been collecting dust for years. I purchased a PlayStation that I barely turn on. Once I started implementing a budget, actually, once I managed to stick to the 50, 30, 20 budgeting rule, because the first months I was really bad at math, and the 30% for once was often becoming much more than that, I was finally able to control my impulse spending habits and spend money on things that are actually important for me, considering my views on what a rich life means. Instead, you should concentrate on your own life, money, and decisions. That is why budgeting is essential.
When you sit down to establish, assess, refine, or log spendings into your budget, you are making a conscious effort to focus on your money rather than other people's finances.
After a while, you lose track of what other people are doing with their money, and then you'll know what it's like to be financially content.
Budgeting helps you control your spending.
Let's be honest, when you operate your finances without a budget, you don't really have anything holding you back from spending beyond your means.
Sure, you might have a general idea about how much money you can spend each month, but without hard, accurate numbers, it's quite easy to lose control of your spending habits.
We used to spend money like it wasn't a big issue. From going out to eat to expensive vacations, without a budget, it was hard to correlate daily spending to our less than optimal financial situation.
Having lunch out doesn't feel like a big deal in the moment. However, when you sit down with a budget and add up the cost of having lunch out every working day, those seemingly insignificant bills add up to way too much spending.
If you go out for lunch Monday to Friday for a year, you might spend $10 on a meal, a pretty good deal at most dining establishments. This adds up to $50 a week. Again, perhaps this might not seem like a big amount.
But if you spend $50 a week on restaurant food, in total you're spending $2,500 per year. This represents almost half of the average American's annual food budget.
This is why budgeting is important if you want to keep a close eye on your daily spending habits, understand the impact of seemingly small expenses, and take control of your spendings.
Budgeting helps you avoid or get out of debt.
It's really that simple. If you want to have money, you must stop spending it on things you cannot afford.
You should cease draining your monthly income by purchasing goods you cannot afford, for which you will also have to pay interest.
If you are in debt, use a sizable amount of your income to repay off that debt quicker. The faster you get out of debt, the less interest you will have to pay. That is why budgeting is essential. It can assist you in getting out of debt, or it can help you organize your finances so that you can save and pay in cash for large purchases, avoiding debt in the first place.
Way back in 2013, I started my first business. I was to become a distributor of personal protective equipment. Due to a lack of experience and some misfortune, I got into debt, which, considering my income at that time, was quite substantial. Having a budget helped me reorganize my finances. The 20% I would normally use for investments, along with 15% of my wants and 10% of my needs, were reallocated towards refurbishing an apartment I had bought. This helped me finalize the apartment quicker than initially forecasted, find a tenant, and as a result bring in additional income.
That is why budgeting is essential. It can assist you in getting out of debt, or it can help you organize your finances so that you can save and pay in cash for large purchases, avoiding debt in the first place. Budgeting keeps you on track for your financial goals.
Budgeting is important because it keeps you on track when you're trying to achieve your financial goals.
To be honest, setting objectives is really simple. It's something that everyone can do. You simply decide what you want to accomplish and then set a timetable to accomplish it.
But here's the thing. Establishing goals and actually accomplishing them are two different things.
To accomplish a goal, you must follow a strategy and stay focused on a clearly defined procedure. Here is where having a budget comes in handy.
A budget allows you to reverse engineer your goals and build a clearly defined plan to achieve them.
In essence, when you make a budget, you are putting limits on your financial behavior so that you stay on track and are closer to achieving all of your life goals.
Furthermore, every time you sit down to write your costs into your budget, you are basically recommitting to your goals.
Budgeting helps you prepare for emergencies.
Life is full of all sorts of unexpected expenses. You can get laid off, become sick or injured, go through a divorce, and such things will bring unexpected costs.
If you don't prepare your finances ahead of the game, you won't be ready when those expenses come your way, and that can be pretty painful.
On the other hand, if you make a point to save for emergency expenses in your monthly budget, then you can avoid this sort of financial difficulties.
In general, it's recommended that you save at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses.
This extra money will ensure that you don't spiral into debt in case of a life crisis.
Don't try to dump the majority of your paycheck into your emergency fund right away. Build it in your budget, set realistic goals, and start small.
Even if you put just $10 to $50 aside each week, your emergency fund will slowly build up.
In conclusion, managing your money well is all about careful planning, and having a budget is the most important thing you can do in this sense.
It's easy to let your spending get out of control if you don't know exactly how much of your money is disposable income.
Following a budget or spending plan will also keep you out of debt or help you work your way out of debt faster.
We hope you found this video informative. Tell us in the comments below if you are currently following a budget, and if yes, then what kind of budget have you implemented for yourself?
If no, then what's stopping you?
Thank you for staying with us till the very end. We'll see you in the next one.